Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I am Leo.
And I am Emma. We are so happy to see you again. Today is a very special day for English practice.
That's right, Emma. Today we are traveling back in time. We are talking about medieval castles versus modern homes.
I love this topic, Leo. I always wanted to be a princess in a castle, but now that I know the facts, I think I prefer my apartment.
I agree. Stay until the end of the video, friends. We have a very important shadowing exercise. This exercise will help you speak English clearly and master the phrases we use today.
Yes, it flows naturally into the conversation, so don't miss it.
Okay, Emma, let's start with the basics. Imagine you are walking to your home. What do you see?
Well, I see my front door. It is made of wood, it has a doorbell, and I use a small key to open it.
Simple, right? Now imagine a castle. You don't have a simple door. You have a drawbridge.
A drawbridge? That sounds like a big word. Can you explain it, Leo?
Of course, a drawbridge is a bridge that moves. It goes up and down. At night, or when there's danger, they pull the bridge up.
Wow. So if I forget my keys, I can't just climb through a window?
No way. And around the castle, there's often a moat.
A moat. Is that the water around the castle?
Exactly. A moat is a deep circle of water around the castle for protection.
So in a modern home, we have a fence or a garden. In a castle, they had a river of water and a moving bridge. That is a lot of work just to enter the house.
It really was. Let's repeat that key word, drawbridge.
Drawbridge.
And the water, moat.
Moat.
Very good.
Section 2. Temperature and light. Leo, let's talk about comfort. Today, I am wearing a light t-shirt because my house is warm. How was the temperature in a castle?
It was cold, Emma. Very, very cold. Remember, the walls were made of stone. Stone does not stay warm.
So no electricity? No heaters?
None. They used fireplaces. A fireplace is a place in the wall where you burn wood. But here's the problem. A castle is huge. One fire cannot warm a giant stone room.
I imagine the people wore a lot of clothes.
Exactly. Even inside the house, people wore heavy wool clothes and furs.
That sounds uncomfortable. In my modern home, I have central heating. I just press a button on the wall.
Central heating. That is a luxury. Let's repeat. Heating.
Heating.
And what about the light, Emma? What do you do when it gets dark at night?
Oh, that's easy. I flip a switch and the light bulbs turn on. My house is very bright.
Well, in a castle, they used torches and candles.
Torches? Like the ones in movies?
Yes, pieces of wood with fire at the end. Can you imagine the smell? The smoke?
My eyes would hurt. And it's dangerous. Fire everywhere.
Very dangerous. Many castles burn down because of a small candle.
So modern homes are safer and brighter. We have electricity.
Electricity. Let's say it slowly. Electricity.
Electricity. Section 3. The bedroom and sleep. Okay, Leo, I am tired. I want to go to sleep. My bed has a soft mattress and 4 pillows. What was a medieval bed like?
If you were rich, like a king, you had a 4-poster bed. It had curtains around it.
Curtains? Like the ones on my windows? Why?
To stay warm, the curtains kept the body heat inside the bed. It was like a little tent.
That actually sounds cozy. But what about the mattress?
It was not a memory foam mattress, Emma. It was a bag filled with straw or feathers.
Straw? But straw has bugs.
Yes, there's a famous English saying, "Don't let the bed bugs bite." That comes from old times.
That is gross. I love my clean modern bed.
And if you were a servant or a worker in the castle, you didn't have a bed. You slept on the floor in the great hall.
On the stone floor?
On the stone floor with a little bit of straw.
Oh, poor people. I feel very lucky to have a bedroom.
Let's practice that. Bedroom.
Bedroom. Now I am hungry. Let's go to the kitchen. Emma, what is your favorite meal to cook?
I love making pizza or pasta. It's very fast in my electric oven.
Well, in a castle, cooking was a giant job. The kitchen was often a separate building because of the risk of fire.
That makes sense. Everything was fire back then.
They had a giant fireplace where they put a whole pig or a cow on a metal stick. They turned the stick over the fire for hours.
Hours? I get angry if my microwave takes more than 3 minutes.
They didn't have microwaves, and they didn't have refrigerators.
No fridge? So how did they keep the milk cold or the meat?
They couldn't. They had to salt the meat or dry it, or they kept things in a cold basement under the ground.
That is so interesting. Today, we have modern appliances.
Appliances. That's a good word for intermediate learners. Appliances are machines like the fridge, the oven, and the dishwasher.
Appliances. Let's repeat. Modern appliances.
Modern appliances. Section 5. Water and cleaning. Leo, I have a question. How did they wash their hands or take a shower?
A shower, Emma. They didn't have running water, no pipes in the walls.
So no taps, no faucets?
No. If you wanted water, you had to go to the well.
A well? Like a deep hole in the ground with a bucket?
Exactly. You carry the heavy bucket of water into the castle. If you want a hot bath, you have to heat the water over a fire first.
That sounds like a workout. 10 buckets of water for one bath? I think I would only wash my face.
Actually, people in the Middle Ages didn't wash as often as we do. It was too much work.
In my home, I have a bathroom with hot and cold water. I just turn the handle.
We call that plumbing.
Plumbing. The B is silent, right?
Correct. You don't say the B. Plum-ing.
Plumbing. Section 6. Entertainment and fun. Leo, let's talk about fun. After a long day, I like to watch Netflix or play video games. What did people do in a castle for fun? Did they have books?
Very few. Books were written by hand and were very expensive. Only very rich people had books.
So, no TikTok? No YouTube?
No, they had jesters.
Jesters? Like clowns?
Yes, people who told jokes, played music, and did magic tricks in the Great Hall.
And they had music?
Yes, they played instruments like the lute or the flute. They had big parties called banquets.
A banquet sounds like a lot of fun. Lots of food and music.
It was the only way to have fun. No TV, no internet, just talking and dancing.
I think I like that part, talking more with friends, but I still want my phone.
Of course, we love our technology.
Technology. Let's repeat. Technology.
Technology.
Section 7. The bathroom. Modern comfort versus the garderobe. Okay, Leo, we have to talk about it. Every modern home has a beautiful, clean bathroom.
I knew you were going to ask about the bathroom, Emma.
Well, I love my hot shower. I love my white toilet. I love my scented soap. How did people, go to the bathroom in a castle?
It was very different. They didn't have a room called a bathroom. They had a small room called a garderobe.
Garderobe. That sounds like a fancy word. Is it French?
It is, but the reality was not fancy. A garderobe was just a tiny, cold room built into the castle wall. Inside, there was a wooden seat with a hole in it.
A hole in the seat? And where did, everything go?
Well, because the room was part of the outside wall, everything fell straight down the side of the castle and into the moat.
Into the water around the castle? The same water with the fish and the ducks?
Yes, exactly. Imagine walking outside the castle and looking up. You had to be very careful.
Oh my goodness, that is terrible. I'm so happy I live in 2026. In my house, we have plumbing.
Plumbing. Let's practice that word. The B is silent. Plumbing.
Plumbing.
Plumbing means we have pipes. The water moves through metal or plastic tubes. It is hidden and it is clean.
And we have toilet paper. What did they use in the castle, Leo? Please don't tell me they used stones.
No, not stones. They used hay or straw or sometimes a piece of old cloth called a rag.
A rag. R-A-G.
Yes, rag. It was not soft like the paper we buy at the supermarket.
Ugh, I feel so lucky. Every time I use my bathroom, I will think of the castle and say, "Thank you, modern world."
Me too. Let's repeat a key phrase for our listeners. Modern bathrooms are very clean.
Modern bathrooms are very clean.
And castles did not have plumbing.
Castles did not have plumbing. Section 8. Laundry and clothes, the hard work. Leo, I was thinking about my favorite jeans. I just put them in the washing machine, press a button, and 40 minutes later, they're clean. How did people wash clothes in a castle?
Oh, Emma, there were no washing machines. Washing clothes was a whole day of very hard work.
Did they have soap?
They had a very basic soap made from animal fat and ash. It didn't smell like spring flowers or lemon, I promise you.
Gross. So where did they wash the clothes?
They had to go to the river or use big wooden tubs. They used their hands to scrub the clothes against stones. Scrub. Let's repeat that. Scrub.
Scrub. Like this.
Exactly. It was very physical. And imagine doing that in the winter when the water is freezing cold.
My hands would turn blue. And how did they dry the clothes? No electric dryer, right?
No dryer. They hung the clothes on lines outside, or if it was raining, they put them near the big fireplaces. But then the clothes smelled like smoke.
So in the morning, you put on clothes that smell like a campfire and old soap.
Pretty much. Modern life is much better. We have a dryer.
Dryer. Repeat with me. Washing machine and dryer.
Washing machine and dryer. Section 9. Animals and pets.
I have a small cat named Luna. She sleeps on my sofa. Did people have pets in castles?
They had animals, but they were usually working animals.
What does that mean, working animals?
It means the animals had a job. For example, they had many cats, but not to cuddle. The cats were there to catch mice and rats.
Oh, because there were many rats in castles?
Yes, because of the straw on the floor and the food scraps. The cats were the pest control.
And dogs?
Dogs were for hunting or for protection. Large dogs stayed near the gates to bark at strangers.
I see. In my modern home, my cat is my friend. In a castle, a cat is an employee.
That's a good way to say it, an employee.
And what about horses? They didn't live inside the castle, right?
Not in the rooms, but they lived in the stables inside the castle walls. The stables were like a garage for horses.
Stables. Let's practice that word. Stables.
Stables. Section 10. Transportation. Horses versus cars.
Speaking of horses, if a king wanted to visit another castle, he used a horse. How long did it take?
It was very slow, Emma. If a castle was 50 kilometers away, it could take a whole day or more.
50 kilometers? In my car, that is only 30 or 40 minutes.
Exactly. And the roads were not smooth. They were made of dirt and mud. If it rained, the horse got stuck in the mud.
That sounds exhausting. No air conditioning, no music, just the sound of the horse.
And the smell of the horse. Today, we have automobiles or cars.
We have engines. Engine.
Engine. A horse is a living engine, but it needs to eat and sleep. A car just needs gas or electricity.
I prefer my car.
Section 11. The walls and decoration.
My walls have beautiful paint and some pictures of my family. Did castles have decorations?
They had tapestries.
Tapestries. What are those?
They are like giant carpets, but you hang them on the walls. They usually had pictures of battles or forest animals.
Were they just for decoration?
No, they were for insulation.
Insulation. That's a big word. Does it mean keeping the heat inside?
Exactly. The stone walls were so cold that the tapestries helped keep the room a little bit warmer.
So everything in a castle was about staying warm and staying safe.
You are a fast learner, Emma. Warmth and safety, those were the two priorities.
Today, my priorities are high-speed internet and comfort.
Me too, Emma. Me too. Okay, listeners, We have talked about many things. Let's see if you remember.
I will ask a question and you try to answer at home.
Question 1. Where did people get water in a castle? From a tap or from a well?
That's right, from a well.
Question 2. Was a castle warm or cold?
Yes, it was very cold because of the stone walls.
Question 3. What do we call the moving bridge at the entrance?
A drawbridge. Excellent.
Now, let's repeat the most important phrases from today's lesson. We'll say them slowly.
Please repeat after us.
Modern homes are comfortable.
Modern homes are comfortable.
Castles were built for protection.
Castles were built for protection.
I have central heating in my house.
I have central heating in my house.
Medieval windows were very small.
Medieval windows were very small.
We use electricity for light.
We use electricity for light.
Now it is time for our shadowing exercise. This is the best part.
Remember, shadowing means you speak at the same time as Leo. Listen to his rhythm.
Living in a castle was very different from living today. Castles were cold, dark, and sometimes smelly. But they were also very strong. Today, our homes are full of light and heat. We have machines to help us cook and clean. I am happy to live in the modern world, but I love learning about history.
Wow, that was a great paragraph. Let's do it one more time, even slower.
Living in a castle was very different from living today. Castles were cold, dark, and sometimes smelly. But they were also very strong. Today, our homes are full of light and heat. We have machines to help us cook and clean. I am happy to live in the modern world, but I love learning about history.
You did a wonderful job today. Learning English is like building a castle. You do it stone by stone.
Thank you. I try my best.
Friends, we want to know more about you. Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite room in your house and why?
For example, my favorite room is the kitchen because I love food.
My favorite room is the living room because I can relax on the sofa.
Write your answer in the comments. We love reading them.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more easy English practice.
Thank you for practicing with us. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.